What's going on, Movie Talk fans? Are you ready? Let's go. Let's talk movies. We got lots to talk about here. Marvel, Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. Stay tuned, guys, and I got a special guest here for y'all. Let's talk movies. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Marker. What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? As always, I'm your host, Ryan D, aka Ryan680. Thank you so much for making me a part of your day, guys. And you know what to do, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to like, share, subscribe to us on Alamo City Movie Talk. And do not forget to hit that little bell notification to get notified for movie reviews, trailer reactions, and movie news like this one. Let's get right to it, ladies and gentlemen. So first and foremost, before I get started and everything, I do want to introduce a lot of crazy news, right, that happened in the movie world this past weekend. A lot of San Diego Comic-Con, a lot of Marvel stuff that has happened this past weekend. And not only that, but the release as well as Deadpool and Wolverine and everything. But without further adu, guys, let's get right to it. First and foremost, I do want to introduce, before we get into the nitty-gritty, I do want to introduce a long-time movie talk guru who's been in the Movie Talk channel, who you haven't seen in quite a bit. It's been a while, and I'll let him introduce himself. But here it goes. Justin, what's going on, buddy? How you doing today, bro? It's been a long time, hasn't it?
It's been a while. You know, I pulled the Tupac, faked my death, went to Cuba, and now I'm back. Glad to be back, man. I was I was a little excited when I got your text, and you said that if I wanted to be a part of this. I was actually talking about it the other day, where I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, "Oh yeah, I used to do this." She's like, "What, really?" And I was like, "Oh yeah."
You showed her some old videos, right? I mean, when we used to do this stuff, and right. Okay, good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I miss your dry, quirky humor, man. It's always come at me random, and I love it, man. I appreciate that. But yeah, so let's get right to it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about the Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. And please, we will be reading the comments later in the end of this episode and everything. But put your thoughts below, guys. What does everyone think of the Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom? Are you for it? Are you against it? Because this has split so many freaking fans out there in the Marvel universe. It split a lot of people. It's as split now, I would say, as Star Wars is right now. It's very split, very divided and everything. But yeah, we'll talk about that now. And also we'll be talking about the budget that is expected for him, which I'm against, but we'll talk about that more so in here. But first and foremost, Justin, what did you think of Robert Downey Jr. San Diego Comic-Con? First off, where were you when you watched the video? Or did you watch the video? Did you read an article? Let me know how did you find out?
So like a lot of my information that I get on the internet, Reddit was the first thing that I saw, right?
Oh, crap. Okay.
The picture of Robert Downey Jr. in the Doom suit with the mask in his hand, with the iconic pose that he does. I saw that and I'm like, okay, like that's what is this? And it said Robert Downey Jr. is Doctor Doom, and I'm like, this has got to be fake. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this really real? And then, of course, first video that pops up on TikTok is the showcase for it, and then them announcing Avengers Doomsday, and then of course like them lining up all the people dressed as Doctor Doom, and of course the announcement. And I'm like, holy crap, this is actually real.
Yeah,
like, it's insane. Like I didn't. It's something that like it throws you out of the loop of like what you think of what could happen, because it's like you first off, you never thought that you'd see Robert Downey Jr. in a Marvel movie again. Everybody was always expecting like, oh, Doctor Doom, like who would play him? Like, oh, I want Cillian Murphy to play him,
dude. Yes, I see so many. Yeah,
and it's insane. It's I don't know. I'm excited. I'm also like, I'm a little weary, but at the same time, it's Robert Downey Jr., So
yeah,
Marvel's golden boy.
Yeah, no, I got you. So one of the things I did want to really say is Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom and everything. Robert Downey Jr. First off, the casting and everything. I'm gonna be totally opposite from you. I expected him to come back. But here's the thing. I expected him to come back as Iron Man, because before this even happened, who's it's so confusion. And again, probably people will be like, nah, Ryan, you guys crazy, you're crazy, whatever. But the fact of the matter is that who it really is an Avenger right now. The Avengers, like who officially is an Avenger right now? Back in the core team, we've always had Captain America. We've always had Iron Man. It was always them two who stuck it out, whether someone was stuck in space or something. It was very iconic to the fact that whether someone went rogue, which Captain America went rogue, so Iron Man stayed and stayed firm whenever Civil War happened. We knew that someone was an Avenger, whether you were a Lost Avenger, we knew that someone was always going to be there to try to bring the team back for whatever reason, right? To bring the team back no matter what. That impact, that really, it was very significant, even more so when we saw the films progress and everything, when they changed from Civil War, from from all the Avenger movies as well. So it was very iconic to us that somebody in the core team was always going to be an Avenger. But currently, that state of mind and that state of just of an Avenger here it's very invisible, and it's like you don't know who is an Avenger, you don't know what's going on, and and the fact is that, like, okay, maybe Captain America, Falcon is the Avenger, I guess. I don't know. It's very confusing. And so I felt like that for me, that I believe Robert Downey Jr. was going to come back, but for me it was going to be as another multiverse Iron Man. If that makes any sense and everything. For me, I think it worked better in my situation, because it's kind of like, okay, it's a cop out, but I mean, at least he's playing that iconic character that he's well known to play anyways. But
yeah, and it's interesting how you say that you've always thought that he would come back.
yeah.
And it's the one thing that, at least that I've talked with other people about, and I've seen other people talk about, is that you got to remember, we're in the multiverse, baby.
Yeah.
And anything is possible. And
Anything is possible.
There's the fact that the MCU currently is in its multiverse phase. There's so many possibilities that are out there that that they can take from many comics, and even at that they can create from their own, because why not? Because they're the MCU. It's Kevin Feige.
Yep.
Who cares? He's gonna do whatever he wants, and everything he touches turns to gold. And and some people are just like, oh, that doesn't make sense. Robert Downey Jr. doing his that, like, are other people going to be confused, like, as far as, like, movie wise, like in the movies, like, are different characters gonna be like, oh my god, it's Tony Stark, or or is it going to be like a Deadpool moment where he's going to be like, hey, it's like, that's Iron Man right there, like, that's not Dr. Doom, or me breaking the fourth wall. So it's crazy, but it is a very strong possibility. So, like, let's not forget, there are many comics that are out there where different timelines, or even I think there's one of the main timelines where Tony Stark does become Dr. Doom.
Okay.
And in the Iron Maniac, they don't call him Dr. Doom, but he's called the Iron Maniac. And the only reason why I know this is because my favorite comic book writer and / series that I love, The Walking Dead, Robert Kirkman, wrote it.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, and that's something that I kind of remembered, and I fell back to, and I'm like, okay, well, you know what, like, it's a story that can make sense. And there's other comics, of course, that you can go back to and do, and which, like, I feel like they're probably going to take what's out there, like 10% of what's out there, and use that as kind of like a base, and I think they're just going to build from there. So I'm very, very excited to see what they do. And of course, obviously, and I'll let you touch base on this, on who's basically directing this, and what was,
Yeah. So so one of the things I do want to touch on. So they when they announced him as Victor Von Doom. Is that correct? Right?
If I can recall, yes.
So then, because that was the question that kind of split fans. They were like, well, how does this make any sense? Is it going two storylines? They could do two options here, ladies and gentlemen. Two options. One, they could just say, hey, he's Victor Von Doom. He's set back, because Fantastic Four, I think, is set in the 60s, 70s, I think, or something like that. Yeah. So that could be another Earth or another multiverse, whatever. Or two, he, instead of him being Iron Man, he became Doctor Doom in that multiverse, or in that reality, in a way to where, to where like someone else became Iron Man and he became Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
But I feel like that he's not Tony Stark at all, because they would have said Tony Stark as Victor Von, or Tony Stark as Doctor Doom. Like they would, I feel like that they would have brought more context to the story, if that makes any sense. Um,
Okay. So
you know what I'm
there,
saying?
I 100% get what you mean. Um, and it's something that's kind of like just been replaying in my head, is that um the way that I can see this working out is, obviously I feel like this Doctor Doom is not going to be from the Fantastic Four universe, or even our current universe. I feel like this is one that's been already developed. This is the one that we are going to see in Avengers Doomsday.
Oh, okay,
And
okay.
this is my theory, and the reason why I'm saying this is because Doctor Doom's whole thing is that he's always strived for perfection. And
Mm-hmm.
who was perfection in the MCU? Tony Stark.
Tony Stark,
So
yeah.
that is my theory, is that either somehow found a way to um kind of make himself into Tony Stark, or take on the body and the brain
Mm-hmm.
of Tony Stark, and then turn into Victor Von, or turn into Doctor Doom, and basically claim himself as Victor Von Doom. There's a whole bunch of theories that I have, but I feel like that's what it's going to be, is that he craved perfection, saw Tony Stark as this was the guy who built something out of nothing, and basically took down the biggest bad in his universe. I want him. That's
Okay.
I feel like that's how it's gonna be.
Okay. All right. All right. So you do believe that that Tony Stark is gonna play um Doctor Doom, not Victor Von Doom and everything.
Well, I feel like it is gonna be Doom, but in Tony's body. I get.
Gotcha.
You
Okay,
can see
okay,
that.
okay.
Okay,
See, and that's
that
the thing
makes
too.
sense.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of feel like that fans are so confused. And I've been seeing comments and everything. They're just like, wait, how are we gonna distinguish him between him? Because I mean, everyone just knows him as Tony Stark. I mean, he's iconic. Everyone knows him as Tony Stark. So how are they gonna see him as playing another character? You know what I'm saying?
All I gotta say is, everybody out there, in Russo brothers we trust. Come on,
Yeah,
come
yeah. So
on.
yeah, and thank you for mentioning that. So the Russo brothers got announced as well that they are going to direct the next two Avengers movies, which is very exciting in a way. It really is. It's very exciting, but at the cost of it all, it's definitely they're coming to the rescue. And I feel like Robert Downey Jr. even said it in a press junket that I was not going to come back to the Marvel universe unless they were tagged on as well. They were going to direct the movies and everything. So it definitely kept everyone interested. And I mean, the Russo brothers, I mean, they brought us, these are the guys, and everyone tends to forget this. Moviegoers out there, let me educate you a little bit. You guys, everyone seems to forget, these are the directors that came from making a simple movie, to making this caliber film, Captain America, the Winter Soldier, who is just a beautiful film, beautiful, great movie. And they came from making a movie called You, Me, and Dupree, which I love that movie.
I love that movie too.
I love that movie. It's so funny. But you get what I'm saying? Like, it's like, who would have trusted someone for such a different, huge budget, two different movies, completely different movies. Pretty much Kevin Feige believed in them, into storytelling, into telling all these different characters, from Black Widow to Nick Fury, to creating all this story realm around them, and then to really make Civil War as well, to introduce us Spider-Man as well. It was a lot to really conquer. It was a lot of obstacles that I feel like the Russo brothers really did so good and everything, and they really brought us so much great film and so much great adventure movies, and I mean, Infinity War, of course, and it just
Endgame,
and
yeah.
Endgame, yeah, like those movies, I feel like that we're not going to see have that caliber, I don't know. For me, I feel like that we're not going to see that caliber just yet. Or in maybe we'll see. Anything can happen. But as far as like, because every single screening was full when Endgame happened, same thing with Infinity War. It was a very impactful moment for movie fans and moviegoers out there, not just Marvel fans and all that. I think it was a really huge impact on the community of comic book lovers, comic book fans, comic book moviegoers, and even the average moviegoer. Whether you watch the films or read the comic books. But Russo brothers got casted. The Russo brothers are officially there. And so I'm excited to see what's gonna unravel here. I'm excited to see what's gonna happen here with the Russo brothers and everything. But it didn't come at a cheap price. Let me tell you, Justin. It did not come at a cheap price.
I know.
That's the thing too, man. With Disney right now, the way it's happening, let's get right to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and let's hang on one second. Okay, let me bring this into frame real quick. So one of the things I'm gonna touch up on, ladies and gentlemen, is of course the budget. On certain, so we don't know the exact budget that Robert Downey Jr. came, because you got to remember though, you have to remember what movie was he just in?
Oh, are you gonna have to tell me this?
Oh my gosh. Okay, my favorite movie last year, the number one movie for me last year, Oppenheimer.
Oh, Oppenheimer. Yeah.
Oscar winner now. Yeah. Oscar winner. You know what that means? That price tag goes up, baby. It goes up. It goes up way more because he is hot off the press. Same thing with Cillian Murphy. He's hot off the press, hot off the moment of being in a best picture movie and winning the best actor, and him winning best supporting role in a movie as in an Oscar and everything. So that money, obviously, it goes up. It jumps up. It skyrockets. And so Oscar winner now, one-time Oscar winner, which is exactly what he wanted, because that's why he led the Marvel movies to begin with. It wasn't, yes, it was mainly the story, but he mentioned a lot that I want to win an Oscar, and he did it. There, he did it. Now it's like, okay, this is the biggest moment in my career. Now I can go do pretty much whatever I want. And he chose to go back to where his roots started, to the fans and everything.
To be honest, I was like, it's a guaranteed paycheck, if
it
comes back. So it's one of those things where, if you were the star performer at your previous job, you left and were like, you know what, I'm gonna go make some more. I'm gonna go see if they offer me more money, and that's exactly what they go do.
Yep. Exactly.
It's but it's an appropriate price. I know you're probably
we'll talk about that right now. Okay, so Robert Downey Jr. Variety reported, I believe this was I want to say yesterday. Yeah, there you go. Or 2 days ago. I'm sorry. 2 days ago. Robert Downey Jr. and the Mega Avengers paydays per Variety. That means uniting with the crown jewel, Robert Downey Jr. in Infinity War, and which it was in Endgame. Now, sources are saying, again, this is not confirmed, but sources are saying the old gang will come cheap. Sources say Marvel is plunking down $80 million for Anthony and Joe Russo to direct Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, but significantly more for Downey to tackle that villain Doctor Doom in the two movies. Significantly more, quote unquote. Significantly more.
Pay my man. Pay him. Yep.
So I'm against this. Knowing that a director, again, I'm not trashing on directors. I'm not trashing on directors or actors. I want to say that from right now. The actors though, and the actresses and everything, they come in, they read their lines, they go their impersonations, of course, and everything. I'm not saying it's an easy job. It's not. But what does the director do? The director's there night and day. He's there editing. He's in the editing room. He's there. We're not comparing work statues. We're not comparing I do work hard or anything, but I'm just giving light to the situation here. Robert Downey Jr. is getting paid so much more money when he just shows up, and it's easy money to him because he's done this before. He's done this with different fantastic directors like Christopher Nolan. He's done these different roles and everything. So knowing that he's just coming in like the way he normally does versus the director with the stakes are on, the pressure's on now. The pressure's on where they need to make they really have to hit a high note on this movie. They really have to hit a high moment in this film, in these two movies. And like they really have to be so great that they get people back into the theater to make it where Marvel's an event now. Marvel hasn't felt like an event in such a long time. Some movies have been good. Shang-Chi was a really good film. The Marvels, it just,
It
yeah,
is what it
yeah,
is.
it wasn't that good. I really enjoyed a certain actress in there, but it wasn't that good. Even more so, the TV shows, the shitty TV shows they've been doing is just garbage, hogwash shit. And I'm just like, okay, what is going on here? And I feel like that they really are going back to where like we're gonna make movies. That's why I feel like that the only one Marvel movie came out this year, and now we know why. But before all that, it goes back to where Bob Chapek. I'm not gonna get into that, but my big boy Papa Iger is back in the house, and he is cleaning house, and he is showing what is good, and he's putting quality over quantity. I'll leave it at that. But anyways, I'm not gonna get more into that. But Justin, let me ask you this. So are you okay with paying more than the directors are getting paid? I'm not saying they do more work, but I'm saying they do a little bit more work, a lot more work than Robert Downey Jr., who just shows up on set. And it's also rumored, again, this is rumored, that he also is getting a private jet, but not necessarily like a private jet to where he owns a private jet that Disney will pay. That way he can go back and forth. Like, I think he might just be doing like another film or something, or just have a jet on standby. Again, that's rumored, and this is rumored as well. But sources are telling us he's getting paid more significantly than the directors, Anthony and Joe Russo. What do you think about that?
So it's one of those things where it's like them coming on is exciting, right? But them adding on Robert Downey Jr. to, not only come back to the MCU, but to play one of the biggest villains in Marvel history. Uh, it's it's one of those things where it's like you can announce to 10 people that the Russo brothers are going to direct an Avengers movie. 6 people will be like, "Holy shit, that's fucking cool," and then the other 4 will be like, all right, whatever." It's like it's who cares? Like everything else has been garbage. And then you announce this, and those other 4 people can be like, "Holy shit, now I'm interested," whether they're mad or they're excited. So it's one of those things where it's like that's adding him onto this. It it adds more money regardless. So he is the cherry on top of this beautiful Sunday that they decided to lay upon us. It's so I'm not mad at it. I am not mad. Pay the man. He gave us what? How many years as Iron Man?
Oh, it's been a while. I don't have I
He
have to look it up, but yeah,
it was 10 years worth of movies. So
yeah.
he gave us that. He was the one who set the foundation for it. Why not? It's like pay the man. Man, who's gonna be mad? Nobody's gonna be mad at the end of the day because
I'm mad. I'm mad.
well, at the end of the day, when the movie is a blockbuster hit and it's the biggest, greatest Marvel, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's probably gonna be one of the best Marvel movies that's ever gonna come out. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna
Okay.
put all my chips down. And at the end of the day, if it is, I don't think anybody else is gonna be mad because they're gonna be like, "Holy shit!" And the movie's gonna make a shit ton of money regardless. So who cares? Everybody's gonna get paid. Um, and it's also this is something that's it's gonna reignite that excitement that people it already has reignited the excitement that people once had for the MCU, because right now it's just like everyone's just kind of like well it's there, and there's little moments here and there, like shows like Moon Knight and everything that kind of
Mhm.
get people excited, and but this ultimately it brings back everybody. It just adds that feeling of joy back into you. Like just I don't know. The kid in me who saw Iron Man 1 is excited to see
Oh
Robert
yeah.
Downey Jr. back in here.
I
Um
love Iron Man 1, directed by Jon Favreau, which yeah. Yeah.
and yeah, and then just seeing Doctor Doom, one of the most requested and villains to ever be made, just come back. Not only come back, but what the goddamn set of directors who know what the fuck they're doing. It's
Okay. All
it's
right.
it's amazing. I am excited for the potential that these movies can hold. I'm hoping to see some incredible comic strips that were amazing to see on paper become, part of the movies. It's,
Mhm.
so who gives a shit? Pay Robert Downey Jr. Pay him. Pay him.
Oh,
Give
whatever,
him all my paycheck.
whatever.
Give my paycheck.
Oh man, dude. And see, okay. So I'm not against paying, but it's like it's almost like a monopoly effect. If you start paying this, I mean, this has got to be one of if he might be getting paid more because the hottest actor right now who gets paid the most actor right now, the highest salary was Tom Cruise in Top Gun Maverick, which is fine because that movie it made huge money. That movie was fantastic. It made huge amounts of money. But at the same time, though, I feel like it's almost that monopoly effect where if they pay the actors this much, then I feel like that, the economy and everything, I feel like maybe tickets will go up. Maybe something will happen where like they have to really cover that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because it's almost like, it's almost like if you're paying for this, this person to do an ad for you, then they have to run ad. It's almost like the marketing. It goes.
Yeah, it's a trickle
Yeah,
effect. It's
yeah,
it's the same thing that happens with sports.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
You pay to get the superstar, and then the tickets go up.
yeah, exactly.
It happens all the time. So it's not only like it's not only them trying to cover the cost of everything else, but it's also, hey, they're trying to make some money on top of this. So of course they're gonna
Yeah.
charge you a little bit more. But um in all honesty, I don't think that's gonna affect like movie prices or
Okay.
anything else like that. I feel like just them uh the merchandise that's going to come from this is just it's going to rake in so much more money
Mhm.
than of course the movie alone. I know me personally, I'm like, bro, I can't wait to see what the Marvel Legends series creates
Yeah.
out of this. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if you just saw, but they barely just announced that they're releasing a life-size replica of the Green Goblin helmet.
Yes, I saw that. That
and
looks so cool, man. I'm loving that.
and this is how long after No Way
Yeah.
Home? So
Yeah, dude.
the amount of money that they're gonna make just from the merchandise from this is like, yeah, yeah. I can keep rambling on, but it's yeah, it's gonna happen regardless. He won't be the highest paid actor for long. You're gonna see somebody else. Um, so yeah.
Okay, okay. All right, all right. So one of my I just it's crazy to me how they're getting paid more than the directors and everything. But talking about that Green Goblin thing, since you brought it up, here it is right here, ladies and gentlemen. Believe they announced it today or yesterday. I
I
can't
think it
remember.
was today. Yeah.
Today, right? Okay, yeah. First and foremost, I'm gonna say that that pumpkin bomb or it looks so damn cool, man. It looks so cool and everything. The
Both
mask.
separate, unfortunately.
Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, I
Purchased
was all
separately.
like, yeah, okay. So yeah, I'm kind of curious how much they're gonna cost. I don't think they have a price on here. Oh no,
Yes,
they
they do.
do.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so it's
it's 130 for the mask, and then I think it was like $70
damn.
for the bomb. But it's
Bro,
like,
No Way Home. When did No Way Home come out? Holy shit! When did No Way Home? When did it come out? I'm trying to remember now.
I
Damn,
was
it's a
like,
long time
all I know
ago.
is that I'm gonna be a 30-year-old man like running around in my living room like Green Goblin.
No
So
Way Home came out in 2021. What year? We're 2024, halfway through 2024, and they're barely releasing the merch, I guess, for it and everything. But dude, yeah, the Green Goblin looks so good. Like the head
yeah.
looks so good.
And
Damn, look how
it's
big
one of
that
those things
is.
where it's 2 years after the movie
So she said,
that we're getting this, and then
yeah,
imagine in another like 2 years after Doomsday like gets released, we get like a life-size Doom helmet, or who knows, like
yeah.
the
Well, I feel like
merchandise
that's
that they're gonna be able to
inevitable.
create.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah,
merchandise that they're
it's
gonna
gonna happen.
create from these set of movies is that's enough revenue to last fucking lifetime. It's like,
Yeah, because I mean that helmet alone. I mean, obviously they're going to change it up a bit, but that helmet alone, like whenever they do it, I hope it's more tech savvy, like it's or like in the movie at least, right? I hope they show it tech savvy in a way, but again, at the same time, though, the people are saying it better be molded on his face, so that way we don't we can't really tell it's Robert Downey Jr. But I don't know. I feel like that Robert Downey Jr. is Robert Downey Jr. and he's not gonna like it when it's molded on his face, or like, you know what I'm saying, or
Yeah, I feel like the Russo brothers are gonna do the character right. And they're gonna give it justice.
yeah.
So I can see that. I can
Okay.
see it being molded to his face.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
because
all I know is that
honestly, you can't really tell that's Robert. Like if this was the exact frame of Robert Downey, like you can't really tell it's him.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So it's kind of like, I don't want to say a wasted talent, but it's almost like, okay, well then, like it just, I don't know. You get what I'm saying though? Like
I don't see it as a wasted talent if you can't see his face, because who did they cast as Galactus, and they're only going to be using his voice.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's one of those things where it's like, if the actor himself is great, then he doesn't need to show his face. He should be able to do all of that without showing his face. So
all the
I mean,
impersonations. Yeah, no, I got
yeah,
you.
yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
the voice, the only thing is, should he change his voice or should he like, is it gonna
So
really?
I'm not gonna lie, I've thought of that too as well.
Yeah,
And
because
the one thing that kind of like secured me to, like, I think, him using his regular voice as like Tony Stark, just his regular voice in general, wouldn't be bad. I did see a AI generated comic strip, the most famous Doom comic strip, where the version of Doom is, he calls himself God Doom, where he holds the Infinity Gauntlet, approaches Thanos, and in this animated comic strip, it's Robert Downey Jr.'s voice, as Doom, with Josh Brolin's Thanos, and it works, and it's like, it was just like, holy shit, like this could become a reality, and like it doesn't sound bad. It doesn't sound bad, because Doom doesn't have to be an incredibly menacing voice. I mean, the dude's menacing in general. Everything he does is like, at the end of the day, he was just a rich nerd. I mean, and so was Tony. So it doesn't have to be extremely, like menacing. It's
yeah.
so yeah.
Okay. Okay. No, I agree. I agree. I agree. It's just, I feel like there's just gonna be a moment to where like, holy crap, like this. I know everyone's already excited. They're excited to see what's to come. They're excited to see what more stuff. And I can't. This is what, 2025 or
2020 is 2025, 2026.
oh no, Fantastic Four is next year. Is he
Yeah,
gonna be
20,
in Fantastic Four? That's my question, right? I mean,
that's a question that everybody's
he
asking. I
has to
mean,
be. He has to be, like, at least show a glimpse of him. I mean, he has to be.
I think a glimpse is inevitable. The
Okay.
same way that they teased Thanos, of course,
Yeah.
because you don't throw Doctor Doom right in there. He
Yeah.
is the biggest bad. You don't throw him in there right then and there. Um, obviously we are going to see Galactus in this film. So I think all the focus is going to be on Galactus and not on Doom just yet.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I think we're just gonna see glimpses of him the same way that we did, for Thanos, for every other movie.
Okay. All right. All righty. Well, first and foremost, Justin, thank you for being on the show, man. I really do appreciate it, brother. Thank you for being on the show. It's been a while, man. It
Of
really
course,
has been
man.
a while. And yeah, but there's a lot marvelous things unraveling, and I feel like this is definitely the change at San Diego Comic-Con that because it was kind of like almost like a last minute deal where with Hall H, and they came in like a few weeks before San Diego Comic-Con happened. I was actually expecting something like this, but at D23 at their Disney Expo.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe we'll see more stuff because that's coming up, I believe in August or September is the Disney Expo. So the
Maybe a
D23.
Blade trailer? Nah, it's never
Ah,
gonna happen.
whatever. Get out of here, dude. The Blade is never happening. I hate to say, guys. He it sucks because such a great, fantastic talent. Mahershala Ali is a two-time Oscar winner. Couldn't even be it. But I am saying the best of the best as well is that the best movie this year, which I'm anticipating to be the best movie of the year, which wasn't Deadpool. predictions here is going to be Joker, Filet Adur, which comes out later this year. So I'm excited for that as well.
I agree as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. But all right, guys, the question is for you guys. What do y'all think of Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom? Put in the comments down below, guys. And do not forget to hit that bell notification, like and subscribe to us. And Justin, thank you again, man. Thank you for being on the show and everything. And thank you for giving us your input on what you think. Maybe we'll get you going in on some few special guests here and there. I know you're a busy man.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me. I miss getting on camera and rambling on. I know my girlfriend gets tired of me rambling on about stuff that's not very much of interest to her, but I'm glad to do it for everybody else who shares the same interest and everything. So
Oh, yeah.
hopefully, hopefully in the future I can set some time aside and join y'all as a special guest on these things again. So
Yeah, man. Sounds good, guys. Thank you so much. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. Ikenola Ryan 680.
And I am Justin. I think my handles are still the same at Dosester on all platforms.
Awesome, guys. See you at the movies. Catch you later. Latest.